Guys, welcome back to this Football Talks podcast. And today I'm happy to receive another friend of mine, another friend that football has given me. So Coach Eric, he'll be talking to us about his experience as a football coach in many countries already. He's a football coach from Argentina, and he also has experience as a goalkeeper coach as well as a football coach. So it will be an interesting one, interesting one. So let's start with Coach Eric. Coach Eric, you have the microphone for you, so you can start maybe telling us your journey in football, until, nowadays. So now you are in England, coaching kids. So maybe you can start from the really beginning, very beginning, when you were just a kid playing football, like you can tell us about your dreams, how it was, and this transition to be a football coach. So welcome our seventh
Thank you.
episode of Football Talks podcast. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you so much, Yuri. Well, it's always nice to talk about football. It's always a good opportunity. If we remember our time in Thailand before a training session when we were coaching together, the only thing we talked about before our training session was football as well. So it's always a nice opportunity talking about football. So yes, in my coaching journey, I started very, very young. To be honest, probably my decision to become a football coach started very early, and my decision to probably end up a professional was very early as well. But this is a decision that I don't really regret. I always enjoy it from the very first time. If I remember in my football journey, I used to play in Buenos Aires. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. What you have in Buenos Aires is some kind of futsal leagues. We will say they're not futsal. We call them baby football. We ever have an Argentinian person, a person from Buenos Aires watching this will understand what I mean. But let's transfer to like futsal leagues. There are futsal leagues all around Buenos Aires, on the city, on outside the city. You have like from division A to division, I don't know, H. You even have colors on the divisions, the minor division. It's very interesting. I used to play for my town club. In Argentina, we used to be always around Division C, Division D, on this kind of we're talking about division, we are not talking about age. It was level, let's say. And inside this division, you have each year. And for example, we used to train Mondays and Wednesday and football match on Saturday, and what I have very good memories because, for example, my brother is year 97 and I'm year 95, and we used to all host Saturday with all my teammates from our club and start maybe the first match 2 p.m. and the last match was 8 p.m. So we used to stay watching, let's say on the day of today, which one is the youngest year, probably 2017. So maybe the first match of the day was 2017. And then we start for 2017, the 2010 play. So you stay all Saturdays, week by week, watching the match. It was very, very rewarding. And this time in Argentina, this phase of football go between 6 and 13. So when you finish 13, you don't play in your town club anymore. You have to go to find an NFL club or maybe a professional pathway in futsal or something like that. And when I was going through my last few weeks of my last year in this phase, the first stage of football, I remember I asked my coach, who was in the moment, Gustavo, like my mentor when I was a kid. I guess all coaches have a mentor when you're a kid, and Gustavo was mine.
Yes.
I told him, you want is next year, I can stay around the club, like helping you, getting the cones, getting the beers, getting the water, I don't care. And I do it for free. It's okay. It's all right. Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, and that's how it's done. I think I was 15 and I was already running sessions or at least helping on it or learning for. And then yes, getting my first certification and coaching a few years in different futsal clubs in Argentina and our FC clubs till I got my chance to go to Malaysia. I got in a few academies there. Then I moved to Thailand in 2018, 2021. And that's when we started to coach here in Ascot. I coach in Crusader Academy here in Thailand. And after this year here now is coaching in England. I moved to England just to give a little bit of geography location where I am. I'm not in London. Many people get confused that I didn't live in London. I don't live in London. I live 2 hours time, maybe in a train, or 3 hours driving from the center of London, more closer to Birmingham than London. So they coaching, yes, in another football academy. It's a development center, but we can go walking through that later to how the football system is here in England, which is very interesting. It's a new system that I never been into, which probably later we can have a thought about it. So yeah, long journey, just started, still young, hopefully. So yeah, looking forward to see what's going to happen next.
Right. So yes, so let's talk about all these experience that you have. Like you have coached in Argentina, in Malaysia, in Thailand, now in England. So I'd like to ask you, like, what are the main differences? Like in coaching kids in many different countries. So like, how different is it?
Well, probably football style probably is a very big difference. Like you can find different countries. Like when people probably talk about Malaysia or Thailand, they thought that people don't play football there. Football barely exists. If you've never been in Thailand or Malaysia, people don't really know what's going on or what's really happening there. And then you arrive in countries like this and you realize that people love football. People make a stadium full every weekend. I don't know, I used to live 5 minutes driving time from port. And match days on Saturday, the stadium was full. I used to go to the match, full of people super passionate about it. And yeah, people do like football in these countries, and I've been very, very close from Johor Darul Taksin in Malaysia because I have a family related. My brother-in-law used to play football in my first team, and people was crazy about it in Malaysia, and not just in Johor. There was a few clubs in Kuala Lumpur, big clubs, a few clubs in Kedah, Terengganu, big and important league, in which the first difference I can tell from countries like this, probably football arrives a little bit later to the culture than it is, for example, in Brazil or in Argentina. That football's been part of the culture for like 100 years or more, probably. Yeah, probably more than 100 years that the people have been into football. Or well, now here in England, that we're talking about football started here at the middle of the 19th century. So yeah, long time. In countries maybe like Malaysia and Thailand, the football's been into the culture for like 60 or 70 years, probably more.
Yes.
And I think that makes a big difference. But you have so many talented players in Thailand or Southeast Asia. And mostly, I think they develop their techniques into the skills, to like the 1v1 skills, into the freestyle skills, or things like that. But probably they still not develop so much in areas like, I don't know, into spaces or how to use these skills properly. That I think that's one of the things that I saw the most. Like you can see amazing players, super skillful into the 1v1. That things probably that all those players cannot do. But I think also a big part of the game is how you put these things into the game in the right moment and in the right time. I think when these three things start to get better as well with a much better organization style of fitness and other things related to more of the body preparation for football, things will get much better in these countries. But yeah, that's one of the main difference. And of course, yeah, the style of football here in England, you have football. The style is much more direct than for example, is in Argentina or Brazil, where we find ourselves more comfortable with moving the ball a little bit, be more patient in the building up or things like that. And here it's very common to see 60, 70 yards passes for routine. It's very common to see a center back who control the ball and try to find quickly 60, 70 yards or 80 meters passes to find a teammate. Like jumping lines that way, and probably here It's happened to me one of the first time I went to play football. I was playing around the midfield, which is quite unlikely of me. But I remember some defender received the ball. I was asking for the ball. I was a little bit pressured, but I still have enough time to receive the ball. And the guy was not even looking at me. Was always side to side to the other
Yeah,
side. And I was like, wow. But in this way he was playing football, he was very good. Because most of the balls that was working down. He was putting the ball exactly in the back of the center lot, and they were running to the spaces very well. So it's not the right way or a wrong way to play football. As what you do that way. A good way is fine.
and how do you adapt yourself to these, different environments? Like, I believe maybe here in Southeast Asia, like in Thailand specifically, I think they like to play with the ball. They have that idea of like playing with the ball, more possession game. And
Yeah.
then now you are in England, like it's more direct, as you said. So how, as a coach, how do you adapt yourself to these different environments? Like you have your own ideas and then you go with
Yeah.
it, or you
I
try to adapt?
I think well, it's here even in the youth ages, like I'm today coaching under 12, under 14s, and on this age, still they try to respect playing off on the back or things like that, trying to be a little bit more clear with a much better development in ball possession, in having more ball rolling time. Yeah, they do respect those things. Like most of the clubs of the academies, even if they are like grassroots academies, which is like probably the first level in football development here, and then you have the development centers or recruitment centers. That's what I work when working out, and then you have the pro academies. But we're gonna walk through that later. But everyone try to respect that. I think these things start to get a little bit more brave when you start to get into senior teams. So in this idea to get points, win,
Yeah,
or
results. Yes.
get results because it's why the club asks you. Coaches just get the books, throw it to the trash, and that's the first thing that they will get them points or results. But I think in youth development, they still try to respect this. In my case, that was your question, how I adapt myself to this. Also, it depends on the age. It depends on the age. Like, of course, we always try to make the kids understand in the youth level around 10, 12 that no one is going to run faster than the ball. You know,
Uh,
that's effective. Some of the players they try to go to spaces or run somewhere with the ball when actually ball can do everything for them. Right? But it's very difficult to do that in man. Once the kids get that idea, when they say, "Oof, look at me! With one pass or two passes, I will find correlation faster than me going with the body of my feet." When they discover that, it's very good. But coaches, we are very, very responsible in how we make them understand that. If we cross that line of making them understand that the ball always gonna run faster than them, yeah, we are in a good way. And well, that's what I'm trying to do on these days. Probably try to mix I do it the coaching with the sports, how they develop technically, which is crucial, probably the most important part. How to take good decisions. Besides the way that you play football, all right, let's say you play kind of side, you like to play 3-2-1 or 2-2-1 or 2-2-2, that doesn't matter. I mean, at the end, probably for most coaches, our goal is the same, is that they enjoy, that they try to play this football, that, and that we are developing not just good football players, we also are developing good people, because football is a very tough career. I was talking that besides of developing good football players, how important that we develop good personalities, strong personalities, good people on and off the pitch, because the football pathway between being a very good youth level player, and I'm talking about good level, under 16, under 18 school, like kind of already going closer senior teams. If we don't develop strong personalities, they might not enjoy the way to grow, and that jump from a youth level, like good level, like let's say good football academy, like playing, I don't know, let's say someone who's playing for, if we say in Argentina, playing for the under 18s in River Plate, or under 16, or someone who play under 16 Vasco da Gama, or with your team, and or I don't know, on the same time, or someone who is playing for Port SC on the under 14, is still a long way from becoming a pro player, right? It's not like once you are there in 2-3 years, it's not even 100% sure that you're gonna be on the first team and you're gonna have a professional contract. So it's very important that we are sure that we are not just developing good players, we are developing good people, and in this way, sometimes that we want young players to win matches, to win tournaments, to win. We put that word win, we forget the main basics and most important thing, that they need to develop technically, they need to learn how to think. Of course, being good technically and then being able to use that technique in the right moment and in the right time. If they get 100% or at least most of these things covered, when they get to senior level, they only will play. Coaches will only tell them when to use, how to use this technique that they have. I think that should be most of the jobs of the football coaches in academy level, is being sure that when they go to play in senior level, we say this job from senior coaches. Senior coaches should not be telling senior players how to, I don't know, how to play one tap, or how to control with the inside part of the field. If one player arrives like that to a senior team, it's because probably coaches we didn't did our best in youth levels. So I always try to put my main focus on those stages.
So you mentioned 2 times already about the football system in England. I would like to know more about, because here in Thailand, like we are far away from having something like that, like something structured, So I'd like to know how is it and your opinion on it.
Yeah, so you just use a word that it really gives a very good name to the structure. The football structure here is amazing. Honestly, it's an example of how you can build a structure from young kids to senior level. I think the first thing that helps a lot in England is that you have different counties. That, let's say, counties are like cities here, or like big cities. For example, now I'm in Gloucestershire County. Inside Gloucestershire, you have I don't know, towns like Cheltenham or Bishop Cleeve, or you have, for example, Evesham. I know Evesham is another county, but inside this county, you have, let's say, 6 or 7 towns, and for example, let's say the head of this county try to help all the clubs around, try to have a look on what they need. I don't know if they have enough equipment, if the coaches are doing well, if the coaches are happy, if all the things in terms of safeguarding their rights. Like, for example, let's say if the club is having at least all the coaches with their licenses, or with the safeguarding and first aid certificates, in case that, of course, hopefully not, there you have like a cardiac arrest in a club, so the coaches are ready for jumping those sort of situations. So, for example, in Dribble, it's super organized, and they are always taking care that the coaches are behaving, parents are behaving, players are in the right place. So that's very, very good. You can go into the websites here. If you go to the FA platform in England, you have resources of training sessions. You have resources of I don't know, like even like coaching jobs opportunities. You can go to the FA website and you go to job opportunities and we'll describe you if a club is need a coach, if a club needs a welfare officer or things like that. It's very well organized. I do really like the system here. I will really respectfully say that it's much better than Argentina as well. I think in this way that England and the countries around here they are going into the structure is really justify why they are playing such a good football level in their top league. It really did make you understand how we enjoy so much to watch Premier League or Champions League games, and how organized they are from the very first level is very interesting. And so that's in terms of the structure. And if we talk about the system, so to these town clubs we talk about, of course, I didn't tell them. Inside Tottenham, you have a lot of town clubs. Probably around me, I have 5 or 6 clubs in these 10 miles or 15 miles radio from my home. Probably they play some town league. So the first level will be the grassroots clubs. They are calling here grassroots clubs. You can have grassroots club with very good level, maybe a middle level. After the grassroots clubs, you have something that they will call recruitment centers. That's why is where I'm working at. So what happens in recruitment centers, we are having players once a week coming for training session that usually they play in the grassroots clubs. That is the local club from their town. So we have the once a week. And what we try to do is help them to progress technically, tactic-wise, and if they are doing very well in our recruitment process, we try to find them some pro academy trials. So, for example, I don't know, if we give you an example of pro academy, will be, for example, Wolverhampton, which is not far from here, it's in Birmingham, or Aston Villa, or Kelman Town, who play on League One. League One is the 20th division here in England. So that's the team from my town, the team I support now. Yes, I live 5 minutes from here. But we are talking about small teams. So small team with probably 7,000, 8,000 people going to the stadium for their games. But still, it's a professional club, and the academy is a pro academy. So what we try to do in this job I'm working now is that we try to help the kids to progress, to get better. And if we find a trial for them, we send them for a trial. And if they pass the trial and they sign for an academic club, then happy for them. And that's what we try to do in this stuff. But I'm sure that you have amazing players on grassroots level. It's like slower. It's another area of the English football. Probably you have amazing players in grassroots who have an amazing future. And then, yes, I think if I'm not wrong, and in the pro academy class, you had different levels inside each of these academies. So, for example, let's say, I think you have category 1, 2, and 3. So, for example, academy category 1 will be probably Chelsea, United, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Wolverhampton, Leicester, and this clubs probably on Big Six clubs like Tottenham or things like that, stuff like that. And probably in the category 2, you have, not necessarily 3 Premier League clubs who are in category 1. Maybe you have clubs in the Championship who are in category 1 because they have an amazing development rate and they are very good in youth development. But mostly these big clubs, like the Barcelona, Manchester City, they already have an amazing academies. But like I said, there is a big investment in infrastructure here. Big investment. So kids can leave their hometown and probably they go straight to academy clubs and they can live very well in there. They have a proper nutrition. They take care of themselves in all the ways. Probably they have psychologists. A lot of people supporting them from the very beginning till they can hopefully became senior players, which is very important. It's very important how much the clubs here support the players in everything, even if they need an agent, a proper agent to support them in their football journey, they will provide it for them if they need it. And yes, I think also they try to really respect the football career here outside from the business. This is very, very important. Going more in a senior topic, I think it's a very perspective for myself. I do think that business is getting there sometimes. And into first teams, things are crossing lately very often. You can see some players going away too soon from their clubs that they grew. Suddenly they are 16 or 17 years old, and suddenly they fly away from their clubs to go play somewhere else. I do feel that sometimes business is getting into football much faster than football is getting into business. So, yes, but that's another topic to talk about it probably. But yes, I really like to be in coach on this system because it's very strict, it's very fair. Proper coaches are working in the proper clubs, and the coaches who are still learning a little bit like me, that now I'm doing certification, going to my UEFA certification now. So the people who we are learning and waiting for our class, we still there working in other clubs. So yeah, happy to start this journey here in England.
Right. So still talking about this, this experience that you have in Southeast Asia and now in England, coming from Argentina as well. So in terms of mentality of youth players, I would like you to talk about it. Because here in Thailand, you were here a few years, so we know that it's very difficult, to kind of convince the players, like make them trust you, believe you on what you are saying, that football is hard, like to get professional, like they need to work hard every day and this and that. So it's quite difficult to make them understand, So you can talk more about, like, as you were here and now you are in England, the difference in terms of mentality of players, youth players.
Well, in terms of mentality, of course, I think this is, I think, it's something that very more worldwide. This thing of some players have the feeling that things are gonna happen like this, that they're gonna jump quickly into a different into the next stage. Like, and football career is very hard. The football player career is something that you need to give up so many important things. Probably in Argentina or countries where the football is being more part of the culture for so long, like England, Argentina, Brazil, players when they are getting to under 16, under 15, under 14, they kind of already know how much it's gonna cost you to become a senior player. Yeah, it's gonna cost you many things. It's gonna cost you probably don't go for that night out with your friends. It's gonna cost you telling to your friends, sorry guys, I'm staying at home tonight. I'm going to sleep early than the rest of them. It's gonna cost you sometimes for some players going away from their families. In Argentina, you have football clubs, or they are based in one side. So maybe you have players coming from all the way from the north. We are talking about 3,000 kilometers, like it's probably 2 hour flight. So yes, those are kind of things that you will have to give up, and some players are ready for that, or at least are ready for sacrifice these kind of things in terms of reach their goal. And I think what happened in countries like Malaysia and Thailand is still hard to get that agreement of, okay, I gotta give up this, but I gotta become this. There is still like a try of trying to combine both things. Okay, I'm not gonna give up this. Maybe I can make it. And it's very hard. It's very hard to make players understand that part. It's really important to sacrifice some things. And then I'm talking about to suffer the process, because it should not suffer the process from becoming a youth player to a senior player. Of course, it's gonna be some bumps on the road. It's gonna be some. It's gonna be moments that probably you're gonna sit there. For example, in terms of goalkeepers, that is what I've been into it for a long time. I used to be a goalkeeper. Probably I forgot to mention that part. But it's very tough for goalkeepers because you have one one per each 11 players. So it's even harder for this position because maybe if you're not doing well as a left center back, you can try to go to play as a left full back. Or if
Yeah.
you're not doing good as a good right back, you can just play right center back. Or you're not doing good on the right wing, just move a little more inside and play more center mid. So you might find your way in different roles and positions. A goalkeeper is a goalkeeper, and there is goalkeeper who sit on the bench for one whole year. And you say it's hard. It's hard to sit down on the bench one whole year, or maybe more than 2 seasons. And I think some is very important to sit tight, wait for your opportunity, having this mentality that, oh, I keep training, I keep going hard, I keep doing my best, and someday you're gonna have that chance. Someday that chance comes. Sometimes you just have to be ready for those 5, 10, 15 minutes that it will put you somewhere different. It's very hard to make other players sleep. Is make them believe that, okay, you're not playing now, but if someday you play 10 minutes, what are you gonna do with them? Are you gonna be ready for those 10 or 15 minutes? That is gonna be your moment for play, because it really counts 10 or 15 minutes. Maybe you touch 3, 4 balls maximum, or one. How you gonna make those 3 to 4 to 1 balls you're gonna touch count? Well, if you are ready, you're gonna make them count. Probably. The thing is, this is very important. That's part of the mentality. And it goes for players who play all the time as well. What also happens to some players who are playing all the time, probably play full 90 minutes or 85 minutes. They get into this position of being more relaxed because they are part of the first team. It's very important for these players for them to also understand that they need to give a strong mentality and a strong example for the rest of the team, because they are the ones who are part of the team almost the whole time. So you are a main character of this team. You play 85, 75, 90 minutes, you are having more time than the people who sit on the bench. So you need to train at the same level as the people who is outside. And when you have a squad or 16 people or 18 people training at this same mentality, like I play on the first 11, I training very hard, I'm on the bench, I play 20, 30% of the time, I'm training the double of hardest of the first team. When you get all of them in this mentality, it's a very nice thing. Not easy, but it's a very nice thing to feel when everyone is connected at the same way. And yeah, probably we have this understanding a little bit more in countries like I mentioned before, countries in Europe, in South America, and we know what we have to give up if we want to play professional. And sometimes that I feel in other countries that youth players, they try to mix these both things together. Don't give up proper nutrition. Don't give up going to sleep late. Don't give up being on the phone. Is 4 hours per day or 1 hour on bed before sleep. Yes, you need to try to do your best to put your biggest dream first, because that was all about.
Yes, absolutely. So talking more about coaching. So I know you as a goalkeeper coach, right? And then along the way, I got to know that you are a great football coach as well. You can also coach teams, not only the goalkeepers. So my question is for the general, like for the football team coaching. How do you plan your sessions? I like to hear from other coaches. Like, is there something that you just woke up and then you had the idea, like, oh, I want to do that drill, that session, or you like to follow some program, from the club, I would like to ask you this question. So how you do?
Well, that's a very nice, interesting question. Like, there is so many different ways to build sessions these days. And of course, my way to build session is been changing through the time, right? I don't have the same way to build session as 5 years ago that I do now. Probably one of the conditions I have today that the topic of the session is already sent about the club to me every week. So, for example, just to give you a very interesting fact about the club I'm working now, excuse me, they send to us all Sundays, the topic of this week. So in the academy that I'm working now, we structure our training session into 4 phases. So we have the first part of the session is warm up or sports and condition. That will be like speed, acceleration, strength, or coordination, or things like that. That will be the first 15 minutes. And then we go into an oppose. An oppose will be developing technique with no opposition in the front of you. So, for example, I don't know, goals, or I don't know, let's say the topic of the day this week, if I'm not wrong, is aerial ball control. So this week we worked on how to control balls with your chest, how to control the balls when it's coming from a throw-in, how to control a second ball, how to deal with this situation. So we divide this in a stroke condition and a pose for the first part of the session. That will be the first half an hour or 45 minutes. We have into our session. And then we go, after we do an oppose, we do to oppose. So kind of the same topic we are doing, we do the next part of the session with 1v1s, 2v2s. We try to addition no opposition to opposition. And then we try to finish the last part of the session, of course, with small side games and a match if requires and if the age is proper, of course. Lately, I'm much more enjoying if I have a session of under 8s instead of making them. If I have 14 kids, instead of making them play 7 against 7, I try to don't do it anymore. And these days, I get much more into the idea that I prefer to have 3 pitches or 2 pitches and make them play 4 against 4 and B against 3. Just because I think in the younger age, if they need to play the ball, they need to have the ball 90% of the training session. And if you ask me, I will make them have it 100% of the session. The ball their feet. Well, sometimes it's not easy, right? So
Is
that is
this
the structure.
is something that you changed 2 years, like as you mentioned before?
Well, yeah, probably. It depends. Also, it depends on what the academy requires, or what is the ideal of this academy, or the methodology, or things like that. If I will have my own methodology, if my way to run a train station, if the methodology was running, for example, in the younger age, like let's say between 7 and 10, 11 years old, it's very hard for me to picture a kid who arrived to a football pitch and he doesn't get the ball. It's have no sense, right? Like, the first thing you're expecting from a football station as soon as you arrive to a football pitch, what you want to do? Actually, you want to play football. It's not another. Yeah, I tried to picture myself when I was a kid. The first thing I wanted to do when I arrived to a football pitch was playing football. And the way that we learned to play football, I don't know, let's say 20 years ago, he was playing football with our friends. No one taught to us how to control the ball with the side out of the foot, or how to.
It was just natural,
how to kick the ball, or how to. So, and of course, what we have coaches will help us to be better at these kind of things. And at the very beginning, we barely have coaches saying us these things. It was something more natural, right? That we learn more for ourselves by playing with friends. Friends, a ball, and maybe two t-shirts on the ground was our best football
2
academy.
sandals, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And what happened today that I didn't, and I include myself into this, we fall into the idea that we need to be coaching young kids all the time. We need to be over them all the time. And I think it's something more about create scenarios and places that they are realistic to the game. If we make scenarios in our football session that is realistic to the what's gonna happen in a football match, for them it's very fun. They engage. They will love to play instead of, I don't know, kids are into the training and they book 3 hurdles, 3 cones, and whole foot, and they start to jump or things like that. And they want to play football, maybe we can go. Of course, coordination, S&T is super important. I will not underestimate the power of this. But in my session, the first year will like them. If I have a group of 12 kids, 3v3, the first 15 minutes, go have fun, enjoy, have a look on how they are doing. Maybe we can do some corrections and some conditions later on. But yeah, probably started having a different session, but they started playing football. We can go into technical and post drills when they're practice their technical into it. But then I like to jump again into working on posts. That will, because I heard a guy the other day. There is a guy from Argentina. I will mention him because I do really like his videos. His name is Ruben Rossi. He was a player on the Under 20 World Cup. He played in Maradona, but he became a coach many, many years ago. So he won the World Cup Under 20 with Maradona. And now he's that coach, but the football development coach. Like he chooses work in youth level. He does work in senior team. And he was telling the other day that why he insists so much in good kids dribbling goals. It's not much better for them just convention against someone else. And as he was saying, if a coach can tell me that you can cheat a con, I don't work in this anymore. And it's true. If we, I don't know, if we learn how to do it, how they call here with a con, that it will be, like cut inside, but with your back, with the inside part of your foot and turn around, they call price turn here. So if you don't do that with a con 100 times, then when you have to do it with a real player, probably things are not going to go well. You might develop that properly. You might do the technique the right way. But probably it's not what you need in that moment because you are playing against something that is actually moving. You're playing against a player. So probably in some moment I have the chance to develop my own methodology. Most of the methodology will be opposed most of the time. A lot of the scenarios where the players can play against someone else. And of course, in a way, trying to help them to learn these things. Say, I don't know, like, because I was like, let's try to say the inside part of the foot, outside part of the foot, of course. But most of these things will position on the front.
Yes.
And
It's interesting that, as we were saying, there is no right or wrong here. It's just like about beliefs, right? And I think I also agree with you. I think like opposed, drills and exercise can develop more, But anyways, like before, it used to be the opposite, and like when you were young, and it worked, But as I agree with you, like I think it makes more sense, like if you put a kid to dribble, as you said, a cone 100 times, and then it will not be the same when they have an opposition, So yeah, that's what we tried to do. We did a few times together when we had the chance to work together. Like in the first 10 or 15 minutes, what we call like street football. Like just 2 small goals and then like 3v3, 4v4, 5v5, and just let the kids play. So I think they enjoy, as you say, they engage. And there are so many situations that happens in the matches that they can, face and practice and improve.
Exactly.
Just in those 15 minutes without rules, without, like so many, things to think about. That's interesting.
And the thing is, it's going to be so many scenarios for things to solve in a football match. There's so many situations you're going to face and you need to solve them. Probably without so much an opposed action when what's going to happen if you have a defender in front of you, like probably two meters from you, and you have one teammate 6 yards on the other side, and you have an opening behind you. How are you going to solve this situation? It's so weird, right? Or you are against the line, or you are playing off on the back as a center back, and you have their left back open on that side, and someone pressing you from this side. This is the situations that how we make this in a training session. It's almost if I make an opposed drill, we cannot create this situation. It's very hard to create it because it's a real action. And the more we go into, I do want players, of course, to develop technically because we have senior training sessions that they still doing technically drills, like, I don't know, passing with teammates, like that they keep doing, and it's very important you keep doing these things no matter your age or your level. Developing your technique every day is super important. But in the youth level, I think and probably in the early stages here, can sure that there is amazing players that years ago, let's talk about many years ago, I'm sure there were many players who can dribble 5 players easily, 5 players in a distance of 20 meters. But if I put 100 cones in those 20 meters, probably they will knock all of them. Because they don't know how to dribble cones. They know how to dribble people. And one player who knows how to dribble people knows how to dribble. And that's just something I'm getting into lately. I just want your players to understand how to deal with these situations with real players. So lately I'm around this idea lately, because of course, if one of the intentions I have in the future is having my own football academy, and this probably will be one of my main idea. So yes, today I'm trying to plan my sessions like that. A lot of ball in time. The most I can have in my session, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the main point is like the kids know how to do something, but more than this, understand why they are doing it.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Because I think you have witness this in Thailand as well. Like you have like parents on your Facebook, Instagram that they show the clip of the kid, their own child training, like, and they put those 200 cones, and then the kid is there dribbling.
Yeah.
Or what they call ball mastery is something that I like. You know my opinion on it. But they make it, some academies, they make it as it was a must. It was a must for you to know ball mastery. This thing, want to get the ball on your right and left and step over and then go there, come back. It seems for them that's a must to know how to do.
Yeah,
and I always use my example. Like I say, I don't know how to do it, but I was professional like this. Like so many professional players, they don't think about this. But if you know how to be effective, if you have one skill or two, but if you are effective on it, so it's already,
it's of course
beneficial for the team. So I think the main thing is for them to understand why they are doing, not only just know how to.
Amazing. Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, role master is become something. The thing is, what is happening is in football lately, there is many people who get into football as something that they want to show up, just to make it have and look nice. So when you see videos of people doing mambo mastery, they look nice, right? It looks very good, but depends what is your goal. I don't know. You know what's very interesting? Probably you have these things, Basil. You can have people in traffic lights in Argentina. You can have people in traffic lights that they get money by doing juggling. They stop on the traffic light, they get the ball, and you saw the guy put the ball here and put it down. And
with the tennis ball as well, like smaller balls.
Exactly. But look at the guy. The guy's in the traffic light. He's not playing in Boca Juniors.
Yeah.
He do 50 KPLs. I'm sure that the center back of Boca Juniors doesn't know how to do 50 KPLs. And it doesn't matter. The Boca Junior center back or the Boca Junior midfielder, he knows when to pass the ball and when to pass the ball to his teammate. We choose with the exit or foot there.
And why to put the ball there.
Exactly. We need to do 50 KPLs.
Yep.
So today we have these new things coming up. That players focusing, I don't know, how to do the C-star or how to do the Ronaldo chop or the Messi's turn. The things are called Ronaldo chop or Messi turn because Messi can do it and Ronaldo can do it. That's why they have the name. We might try to be able to copy this thing because fun, their resources is a skills for players. They are good to it. It's very important to teach the player when they have to use these things. So tell them to think when is going to be the right moment to use the action. If they have no one in the front of them, if they have 100 meter, 100 meter will be a lot. If they have 10 meters free for run, what they need to do, any kind of a skill that is going to help them to go out. If I have a player right in front of me, and I have 10 meters behind the back of that player, I just need to do a simple skill to go after that player and go face to face to the ball. And sometimes players want to look much cool or better. They want to do the most difficult skill on that moment to go away from that defender. The only thing you need to do in that moment is just go away from the defender. In the most simple way or difficult way, it's only one goal that you have in that moment. You need to go away from the defender. That's all. So this is, I think, what is happening these days. We make the football a little bit more complex or difficult than actually it is. Not easy. It is difficult, but one thing that I remember from a coach that I met in Cruzeiro, and I'm gonna mention him as well, Claudio. Interesting character, but once he told something that I will never forget. He told to the kids, and I was like, "Wow, that's so true." And the most difficult thing to do in football is being simple from the first to the last minute. There is people who get paid millions of dollars just for being simple in a football pitch. And I was like, wow, it's true. It's true.
There,
These players who go through the whole career by just getting the ball and give it to someone else. Getting the ball, give it to someone else. Get the ball, if you don't need to pass it, just hold it. If you know, and it's very hard. It's very hard to do it. And I call myself hard even for me. If you
it's
put me
hard
in
to
a
be simple.
midfield, it's so hard to be simple. You always want to do something else that you're supposed to do in that moment. You know?
Yeah,
And that is very hard.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's very interesting. That players fall into this very easy. Like if you have more meters to roll with the ball, so finally do more. If you have someone who is in a better position than you just give it to that person. If you have no one to give the ball, and you have nowhere to go because the defender is pressing you, well, that's the moment that you need to get it to be less than simple. Because of course you need players who are creative, you need players who solve action for you, right? You need the
Yep.
Neymars, you need the Messis, you need the I don't know who on these days don't have on the Premier League. You need this kind of player who make the difference, who do something that others cannot, right? You need
Yep.
Vinicius today, for mention someone more new and more of this time,
Yeah.
right?
And you also need the Casemiros, the defenders.
That's what I mean. It's different roles, it's different, but yes, it's true. You have many football
That's why
players here.
it's called a team, right? So
Yeah,
that's one thing that
exactly.
I try to pass to the kids.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned like why Barcelona, when they had the MSN, like Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, why they worked so well together. And I always mention that each one of them, they were working on their role. Nobody was overpassing anyone. Of course, Messi was the best one. So Messi had his role.
Yeah.
Neymar had his role, and then Suarez had his role. Like, okay. So in Barcelona, so they worked so well because everyone had their own role. But imagine if Neymar wanted to do things that Messi was supposed to do. If Suarez did things
Exactly.
that, getting the ball from Busquets' feet and then try to, so
100%.
that's why it's called team. All right, so we talked about how you play in your sessions. So now let's talk about how your team plays. Let's imagine you are in an ideal world, that you have your own team, and then you train your team, So how would your team play in the way that it was? So what's your ideal play style? Let's say like this.
Oh, that's a very interesting question. I do really like that one. Because it's like I said again, I would like to have a football team who have different variations of if we can focus on in the youth level, I don't find that 100% is right that you always play out from the back. I do want a team who play out from the back, but I do want a team who also is smart enough that if you have a space behind the back of the defenders, you also put the ball behind the back of the defenders. And for example, yes, I like a team who build up nicely with wide center backs, with fullbacks, so who go further, and they can use to us a clean going out from the back, and of course trying to down lines, right? Sometimes having center back who can play a nice ball for a attacking midfielder and a nice pass trying to down these lines. But at the same time, if I have a center back who see the striker who is winning the back of the defender, and the goal have to go there. Yes, it will have to go there. I just like kids or players to be smart enough to make the right decision in the moment. Yeah, I do like teams who are able to solve different situations, because of course if the opposition is not pressing you and let you go off from back, what is happening lately that seeing strong players like you to build the game with the pressure, they don't know what to do when the teams they don't pressure them. That's very interesting because why you do that? Because you cannot go out from the back, as they say, if the team not in the other position the press. You will go out from the back if you have the center back and the striker press you will jump the center back and that the striker will not pass. And that's how you start to go out from the back. But what happens when this team they don't press you? Well, then you have the responsibility to start to go for it. Because in some moment the opposition is gonna press you. So I want to have a team who understand that. What do you do when the opposition press you? What do you do when the opposition don't press you? So yes, if I have players who understand that they have 10 yards, 15 yards to run with the ball, okay, let's go. You have the ball, don't waste it. We want players to pass the ball, of course. But if you have 15 yards to win a space for the team, you with the ball, okay, go for it. And in some moment, your position is gonna jump to you, and then you can move the ball. It's just today, many people put in your head, oh, you move the ball, and sometimes it's very to pass the ball all the time. Because with one or two passes, you can make it to the other side of the goal. Maybe with just one pass, you can make it to the other side. Sometimes you're gonna need 3, sometimes you're gonna need 4. And sometimes is the ball are right to the midfield, and I have the midfielder receive the ball, and he has 20 yards in front of him with no one. Well, that player needs to go with himself with the ball. I do like those kind of things. Today on this day, going to senior player or senior teams, Xavi Alonso with Bayer Leverkusen is doing a very interesting job. Very interesting job. I do really like to see what. I don't know if you've been in Dutch watching, but Bayer Leverkusen is playing a very interesting football. When they have to play out from the back, they play out from the back. If they have 2 strikers pressing them, they have 4 players playing off from that space from the back. If they have 3 if they have 3 people pressing them, they have 5 people for playing off from the back. And if they have 7 players, or like if they have the big amount of players already on the side of the cage, so they start to jump down. So it's like it's impossible to take out the back there from the back because it's very interesting to watch them playing football these days.
It's a great example of understanding why they are doing things. Yeah. So as you say, if they have 7 players pressing them, so why not a long ball? Why not being more direct, right?
You see, I mean, of course, you need players. Of course, you need the players to have this role.
Yeah.
I will talk about in your football because I never coached a senior team yet. So I'm waiting and preparing myself to this day. I'm really looking forward to that opportunity, but it's far away yet. I just want to be focused to develop young players now. But if I have a young player from young team, it's just like understanding when or where to do something. If we have to build up, we build up. If we need to take away ourselves the pitch for a while until the other team press, because in some moment the opposition always would like to have the ball. If the other team does to have the ball, they don't have a chance to manage. Of course, me as a coach, I want to have the ball more than the other team. But the thing is how and what I'm gonna do with that. If you say to yourself, yeah, we want to have the possession, we have to have the ball. Okay, what are you gonna do with that possession? You're gonna keep passing the ball, side to side, and go forward.
Yeah.
If your aim is as forward goes into the other side than the other team, in some moment you will have to go forward. I just like to have players full of them involved in the idea that you have. You have different ways to play out from the back. Depends if what goalkeeper you have. If you have a goalkeeper in under 14s, under 16 who is good with their foot, one extra player. It's not the same. Because if you have two strikers pressing to you against your 2 center backs, with that good goalkeeper you have 3 against 2. So that's a different way to do that for the back. If you get in trouble. If you get in trouble, if I'm a defender and a striker is pressing my back, I know that I don't need to turn around. I can play the ball back to my goalkeeper and we start again. But the thing is having this goalkeeper, right? To allow me to layer from the back. That's how we can jump into goalkeeper later, right?
Yeah.
But these goalkeepers, now that they are so skillful in that foot, they make a big difference in which kind of team you have. because probably if you know that you need to go to your keeper and he's not gonna be able to solve the situation, it's a different thing for your players, because they know that if not play the ball that works, they will need to find another solution. They will need to turn around or play from the ball for someone else, because you cannot play the ball back. So that's a completely different way to build that thing. My ideal scenario will be with these goalkeepers who know how to play out of that, right?
Right. So going towards the end, so you mentioned already a bit of your future plans. So I'd like you to talk more about it, like maybe in a short term, in a long term as well. So what are your plans? Like what you think about coaching? Like where you see yourself in a few years.
Yeah. So of course, I would like to keep progressing in goalkeeping coach. The thing is, for getting more into goalkeeping coach, you really have to have a much better understanding of the game. I just want to be able to help the goalkeepers in the future to read the game, to anticipate plays, because today always has been like this, the position, right? But today the goalkeepers need to be part of the game 100% of the time, because they have much more interventions than they used to have before. I'm not just talking about saving or stopping balls, things like that. Now they have like a lot of interventions, because football changed a lot. Now you have defensive lines who go more higher, so you have goalkeepers playing a much more off on the ball. They have goalkeepers to learn more part of the game by playing with their foot or things like that. Of course, the main idea of goalkeepers, and I just want to give this very clear idea of what I think, goalkeepers need to save. That's it. That's the first main thing. If they are very good with their food, if they are amazing, if they can, I don't know, if they can shoot free kicks or penalty, whatever they want to do, if they want to, the goalkeepers do amazing bodies, kicks, something like that, good, amazing. But if you have 3 chances per match and they concede 3, just one first goalkeeper who from 3 chances they save 2.5 or 2, or the 3 of them, and then the rest can come. But it's very important they have a clear idea of the game, that I can teach to them how to understand the game, how to read some moments before they comes to them. Because I didn't play pro, which is always, I always think is super important or not. The thing is, I think when you haven't played pro, it's very important that you fool yourself of information, of experiences for the people. So that's what I try to do in this journey. I try to understand that I haven't got that moment of playing pro, going from different situations of experiences that will help me to pass this information to other goalkeepers. So my idea is full this information from other goalkeeper coaches, from other coaches around the world, from watching other people working and trying to see which one it feels better for me. What is my way that I want to teach my goalkeepers. You have many people coaching football in different ways. And I think the most important one is find the one that you like the most and the one you translate better to others. Because I think in football and in coaching, it's not so much information that you have. You can have amazing information inside your head, hundreds of ideas, thousands of ideas. But the most important one is how you give this information to others. I can have so many ideas, but if I don't give this information the right way to others, if I don't pass this information the right way, it's just a waste of information. First, I need to know how I'm gonna tell this to other people, and then the rest of this will come like natural. I'm
You can
sure there is
communicate your ideas in a correct way. Yes.
exactly. I'm sure there is a lot of professional players that they are amazing at what they do, but probably they don't know how to explain to someone else how they do those things. I think the role of coach in some things is, okay, you know how he do this thing, because this of this, but being clear, help them understand how and when. But I'm sure there is so many coaches that probably they don't have a huge book of ideas, but they know how to communicate these, I don't know, 10, 15 ideas that they have about football, and they communicate them so well that it's enough to be an amazing coaches. And I'm trying to reach that goal, being able to communicate much better the ideas I have to help players to develop.
All right. So interesting talking. Well, to wrap it up, I would like to ask you if there's anything else from a part of football that is like some hobby, like that you like to do, So I like to do
Oh,
these questions in the end of the
hobby
podcast episodes.
that I like to do. Well, here is one right here, right now. Drink mate on the afternoons.
Uh,
I do like another hobby. I try to think another hobby that I have that is not football because it's very hard.
Barbecue, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, it gets spot. There you have it. Yes, barbecue. Sorry. You know why I hold that one? Because here the weather is so hard. I used to do barbecue in Thailand all weeks, and now I don't do it really often. But yeah, that hobby that is just I can be sunning myself very easy.
Yeah, I miss that
Barbecue.
barbecue.
Asado, how we play that in beer.
Cutting ham.
Yeah, asado, barbecue, mante. It's something that, a hobby that I will do my whole life. Football, asado, y mate is probably how you run a country in Argentina. Football, asado, mate. Those three things, they can never be missed on my life. And being able to play football once in a while, that's super important as well.
All
I
right,
like
all
to
right.
go.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. So, do you have anything else that you want to share with us, with the
No,
audience?
thank you so much. Thank you so much. If there is anyone there of players that I didn't meet there before, I just want to say big hello for everyone, and any challenge, any goals they have, just keep working hard because it's gonna be the only way to reach these goals, and to always try to listen to their coaches because they are the ones who always gonna try to guide through this journey. That's why they are there outside the pitch trying to help you. And if you follow them and if you believe them, probably we can make it further away on this pathway.
So before we finish, we have two quickly questions from Instagram. So I put the question box there, and then we have two questions here from a former goalkeeper of yours, Diao. So
Diao.
yeah, so he's asking about what scouts are looking for in a goalkeeper. So in a tryout, like what would you say about it?
Well, if you're in a tryout, it's probably confidence will be the very first one. The first impression will be being confidence, talking, communication. Those are like the first few things will be confidence and communication. Quiet goalkeeper and body language of a goalkeeper, like that's the first thing they would like to see. The goalkeeper walking to the pitch and is talking to their teammates, managing the defensive line, and that's one very important thing. And the other one will be positioning. I think 70% of the position is position. It's been on the right place in the right days. For being able to save, to close angles, it will be really specific on those kind of things. Sometimes it's not how much you dive, how much you fly, how much it is in a which position you are for that moment, for that shot. And probably in the last phase will be playing your foot, be confident to help your defenders to pass. They can trust you for playing off from the back. This kind of things is important, but communication, good positioning, and being able to play with your foot and be super confident, yes. And most important is how much you recover from a mistake. They want to see that. They want to see how much you don't do this when you do a mistake. How much you recover from that moment, because you're gonna have hundreds of mistakes no matter where you are. You're gonna do the mistake as a pro. They want to know how you deal with this. So yeah.
Interesting. All right, so that's it for us today. The episode number 7 with Coach Eric. So again, a pleasure to have you here, talking to our audience, talk to me today. That Coach Sam couldn't make it to be with us in the podcast. But again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing your ideas. And yeah, that's it for us today. Make sure if you like the episode, make sure that you subscribe to our channel, and it helps us to reach more people, to make our message to, reach more young football players, more coaches, parents of coaches. And make sure you like the video and also share with your mates, your teammates, So, Coach Eric, thank you so much. I'll see
Thank you
you
so much.
in the next one.
Good
See you
night over
guys.
there.
Okay.